the Brothers Murph, and we are going to Unrivaled.
Boom.
Well, I guess we already went.
Boom. Yeah, the Queen Domino in the background gives that away. We went to Unrivaled, but we want to show you Unrivaled.
Gotta show them.
Gotta show them.
Gotta show them.
This was a really fun tournament. Something like I've never been to or seen before.
Kind of like those big like League of Legends tournaments you hear about where there's like a bunch of people watching like two people play a video game. It's like that. But it was big.
Tabletop.
It was nuts. It was crazy.
So we're going to jump right into the footage, you guys. It's going to be on Friday night.
That's right.
Right as we get into the pre-party before the tournament. Check it out.
Mike, huh? What? We're here in Vegas.
No,
we're going to
go
register and get our press badges and all that kind of stuff. We just checked into our rooms.
We're in Paris right now. Look at the cobbled streets of Paris.
Look at Paris. Paris.
Vegas! So, try and go to this VIP party.
Yeah.
We've got these on. We're very important. And players. We don't know where we are.
No.
But there's cool stuff like that and whatnot. And maybe one of these days we'll know where to go.
We don't know where we're going. We don't know where the shuttle is.
Having much fun now, but there are some organizational issues.
It's one or two. Which is okay. It's the first year, but you know.
Point is, getting this exercise in, and it's only like 80 degrees at night, so we're
All right, so we are here. This is the like player VIP party. We're at GameWorks, which is this cool like Dave and Buster's type place. You know, they have drinks and yeah, a playcade or whatever. There's a cool VIP room which has like bowling alleys, and that's where like Will Wheaton is and a bunch of other like cool people and stuff.
And where we are sometimes.
We have the gold ones. So yeah, so we're gonna roll around, maybe play some games, maybe bowl a frame or two, maybe rub elbows with some fancy folk. I don't know.
We'll see. But we are at the official VIP pre-party. So you can take the nerds out of the basement, but you can't take the basement out of the nerds, or something like that. So we came to this place that has arcade games, there's bowling and stuff, and look where we find ourselves. Happily in an open gaming room where we belong. Alright, so the key to Jenga is pure confidence. I don't go tapping around to find an easy one. I choose one, and then I just go for it. You have confidence, you don't gotta worry about anything. Jenga!
It's here, it's the main day. We are here in front of the registration here behind us. So today is the big day. Today is the day of the tournament.
Happening.
And yeah, it's pretty exciting. So everyone's starting to get registered right now. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool. So again, they're playing 6 different games. People are going to be each playing one game.
Yeah.
They're broken down into these groups, and we have King of Tokyo.
We got Ascension.
We've got Villains and Villages.
Villains and Villages, I believe.
Or Villages
Nevermore. We have Epic Spell War Wizard Battle.
And we got Munchkern.
Classic Munchkern.
Munchkern.
So tonight is the finale. Think of those big video game tournaments, like a big stage, big screens everywhere, big lights, everyone's screaming.
Maybe one of those inflatable things that's going like, but it's pretty crazy because for each game, the winner, first place is gonna get $10,000, and then the prizes go down from there. But like, there's serious money to be won.
So that is it. We are going to go start wandering around. We'll show you guys what all is here, what all is going on, and take a journey with us. Come on down. Take a journey with us. Too close. Take a journey with us. Still too close.
You guys want to go on
Take a journey with us. Take a journey with us. Still too close.
You're out trying to go on a journey with us real quick. Alright, so it's crazy in here, but this is going to be the main room where all the semi-finals are played. So down here we have a bunch of tables, all the games lined up. They're going to be doing that tournament to see who makes it to the finale. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's being played.
Alright, so apparently this is like giant area. Look at this crazy, rad, super ultimate team foosball. That's amazing. Then we got giant Jenga over here and then giant Connect 4 over there. Of course there's bars. It's Vegas. Anybody want to get hammered and play Ascension?
This is the very first year we did this, and I had the idea for this tournament 2 years ago. And I gotta tell you, it's really exciting to see this thing come together.
I am thrilled and so excited for all of you to be here, and for all of you to be part of what's really a movement, where we are sharing the absolute joy of getting together with other human beings and sharing some common space and really experiencing our shared humanity across a tabletop game together. Because what we need now, more than any other time in my lifetime, is to see the shared humanity in the people around us. What we need now, more than any other time in my life, is to connect to the other people around us, because the world is on fire and it is never going to be put out if we don't form and protect the bonds that we make when we play games.
Here we are. What? That's. I knew I put the wrong jacket. That's my jacket. Vegas, baby.
All right. I'm not like Mr. Above It All, but I mean, we could do better than Vegas, baby, right? I'm just saying maybe hire Mike and Nick because we're pretty funny. Just saying.
All right. We should never. That was horrible. I'm sorry. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Brian Kelly? What a body of work. What a body of work.
Seriously, we're available for hosting gigs anytime at thebrothersmurph@gmail.com. Once again, at thebrothersmurph@gmail.com.
Welcome to the Unrivaled Tabletop Series Finals. How you guys doing?
make sure each of you has somebody to root for. So what we've decided to do is divide the audience into 4 sections, where each section is asked to please root for your particular player. Now there's going to be 4 players. Now your lights just changed, so you guys are the yellow section. Yeah, you guys are the blue section. You guys are the red section. And you guys are the green section. Now here's the deal. I've never asked anybody to work for me where I wasn't willing to compensate them heavily. If your player wins, your section is going to win a prize, all of you, that matches whatever it is. So whatever game we're playing. Alright, so let's start right now.
From designer C. Aaron Krieger at Studio 9, it's Villagers and Villains.
Our grand champion of Villagers and Villains in our first ever Unrivaled tournament and going to win $10,000 from them, as well as scoring, is Alex!
The Ascension Final.
The player for our section brought a dog on stage. Got this one on lock.
Hi, puppy. So sometimes when you're watching a game, you don't really know what the game is or what's happening, but I really just like to support sometimes. So occasionally you just gotta throw out a woo! Woo! Woo!
Do the thing that makes you win!
So one thing that's really cool about this is you don't actually have to be good at games when you play games to win games. So Steven with the dog did it, and we've got Ascension, Apprentice Edition, 2-player style, just for being here and supporting people who like dogs.
I know our players are ready. Are you guys ready for some King of Tokyo? Wow, not a lot of smashing going on. Let's see if that changes here. Wow, there's a big roll.
Smash or nothing!
That is for David Gibbs. Everybody is now beginning of the drafting phase.
There's a marching band! We're not sure why!
Cryptozoic Entertainment and the creative team of Corey Jones, Rob Heinsohn, and Nick Edwards. It's epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards, rumble at Castle Tentacle.
No, he's dead. The game is over. He's still. Spencer, he's dead. He's already dead.
The main day here at Unrivaled. Pretty darn cool. Peace. Good night. Woo! Oh man! So that was it. That was Unrivaled tournament put on by Umba TV. Umba.tv. Yeah. That's right, man. This thing was that was cool. I mean, first of all, we hadn't been to an experience quite like that where it was a big board gaming tournament. Yeah. So that was definitely new and unique, and it's unique to everybody else because I don't think something like this has really happened at the scale that they did it at.
Yeah, and that's so in this outro video we're mostly talking about like some pros and cons, you know, of the whole thing. Yeah. Get it, cons, because it's kind of like a convention. But I want to jump right into that because I think that was a good thing. It's like they spent a lot of money on this whole thing. Like, they had the resources and they did not shy away from spending money. I mean, there was like 600 people participating in the tournament, not including like, you know, like Will Wheaton and like press and all this kind of stuff like that. And they flew in all those people's all hotels and stuff like that. And they were from all over the country. I mean, we met people from Arkansas, New York. I mean, everywhere really. And so like, they did not spare any expense pretty much across the board. You can see like the big main room, the big convention center, the giant like final on the huge stage. Like they dropped money on it.
Yeah, so the resources were there, and that was really great. I'd say one con, and this is going to happen with anything you do. If you're doing something so large as, you know, a 600-person board game tournament, there are a lot of moving pieces, and things are going to go wacky. Yeah. Now, this was their first year, and there were some organizational issues that happened as a result. So getting to the pre-party on Friday night was really crazy. Not all of it was their fault, but these things happen when there are so many things to keep track of. Certain things fall through the cracks. Yeah. So I'd say that was the main thing. It's just kind of hard to tell when we needed to be where and what was going to happen once we got there.
It was by far the biggest con, and most of the cons we have actually I think would be alleviated or should be taken with a grain of salt, considering it was the first time they did this, and anything like this is going to be hard. I can't imagine trying to organize something like this, but that was a big, significant problem that I hope they really work on. And from all the people at Oomba that we talked to, it looks like they are, and they are going to.
They're fully aware that it was their first con, and it seemed like they were taking a lot of notes. So that's really good. The other thing, you know, you were talking about earlier, that people didn't really believe that this was a real thing. And I think that the 6 games that were chosen for the tournament were reflective of that. They had to get so many copies of these games for the
publishers
had
to provide them.
They had to provide them, so you know they were limited in the options they had for games. And I don't think it was their ideal games for the tournament, but it's what they had. So I'm thinking that in future years we might have games that are a little more interesting to watch.
Yes,
King of Tokyo is like
great tournament.
Makes sense for tournaments because you're just throwing dice, and like the girl
everyone's hooting and hollering,
like had these crazy dice rolls. But then Ascension is like a quiet deck builder where mostly you're holding stuff in your hand, and like we can't see what's in their hand. So I'll just be straight up, and having never played Ascension, I had no idea what was going on the entire time the Ascension was going on.
And they it's one of the problems. If you have a game that's not that fun to watch people play, you are essentially 100% are relying on the players themselves and their interactions, because all the players were mic'd, but nonetheless, like, they were mostly focusing on playing.
Because they're thinking like $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't buy that.
And
that's only a $5,000 move.
And so, like, one of the things, like, for the most part, on top of that, like, a lot of gamers tend to be kind of introverted. When you put them on a giant stage, like, most of them weren't, like, chatting and stuff.
So I think the solution there is coach up your players a little bit, saying like, hey, can you do us a favor, talk through your turn?
Yeah.
And also just have us be the players, because we talk through all of our turns.
Or the hosts. Because the hosts were kind of quiet a lot of times. I'm like, you should just have the Brothers Murph host.
And I think that's something that the finals could have used, is just a constant feedback and chatter.
Yeah, so if they're not doing anything, you can be doing something.
So, and again, first time. So we didn't always know what was going on in the games, but one thing that they did that was really, really smart.
Brilliant.
What they did was they put us into different sections in the theater, and they were by color. So there was red, blue, green, and yellow. Yep. And all the players on the stage were red, blue, green, or yellow.
It got to the point where you were just like, red player, the whole time. And it was super fun in that respect, because they were just like, give it up for the red team. And we're always like, wow, just screaming and stuff. And that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's the thing about the Unrivaled tournament, was that the ideas are there.
Oh, yeah.
The roots are there. Like, they want to make it super fun, splashy, interactive. Everybody gets stuff, and you know, the heart of it is solid. So that's a cool thing to see.
Another pro that I want to talk about, I think is really, really cool, is their big support of game stores and local game stores. Great local game stores, because that's how they get all these players to the finals. Is they put on these tournaments at these local game stores, and then the winners of them get to go to the final, which is great. But the cool thing is not only is that a little bit of you know, more people going to those game stores to presumably play in these tournaments. If you won a tournament at a game store, like say we won at Emerald Knights, which is one of our local game stores, and then you went there to the final and then you won, whatever you get, the game store you came from gets the same price. So if you win first place and you get 10 grand, the game store you came from also gets 10 grand.
Right.
If you get fourth place, you get $12.50. The game store gets $12.50, which is really cool. And like, again, like, they didn't need to do that, but that's awesome. Like, that's such a cool thing to incentivize game stores to hold these tournaments, because it's good for Oomba, because more people are like, hey, we could potentially win 10 grand. And there's really like no skin off our nose to do this, you know? And so
I think there's a registration of a couple $100 to become an official store.
It's small. So if you know of like one of these tournaments taking place at a game store, go. Because you don't know, there might be a bunch of people, there might only be like one game of Ascension. If you win that game of Ascension, you're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
That definitely happened to people that we talked to.
That's not going to happen for long. So if you hear about some sort of like, hey, you can play this board game tournament, man, and if you win, you get to go to Vegas. It sounds super sketchy, but it's also super real. So like, show up in case there's like no one there and you just win by virtue of showing up.
Yeah. All right. So that is it. Overwhelmingly, the pros outweighed the cons. It was overall super cool. I mean, just the fact that like this thing happened, that they were able to drop this amount of money on it, and like this kind of things don't really happen for board games that much, especially in a tournament setting. And so like, especially outside of Magic, like Magic has big tournaments, but like no other board games. And next year there should be more people. There's gonna be better games as far as I can tell. And it's gonna be cool. And this is a thing that's, I think, really has potential to go up and up and up. So like, get on this train while you can, and support them, because it was cool. It was cool, and it's something that not really many people are doing. And there's a lot of good people at that company, and they're doing a lot of cool stuff.
And they want to promote local game stores and the hobby. Yeah. That's their goal. Is they want there to be more gamers, and anything that anyone's doing to promote a welcoming, fun board gaming experience and environment. I'm all for.
Yeah.
So
2-way thumbs up for us. It was a blast.
That's going to be it for us, you guys. Check us out on social media, and you can see some Unrivaled things there, because they've been very gracious in retweeting some of our things.
Yes, indeed.
And check out This Game is Broken, an amazing board gaming podcast. And it's kind of like a game. It's not really a tournament. There is no money, but it's quite fun.
It's super fun.
And that's worth something.
Yes, indeed.
And then I guess until next time, man, I've been Mike Murphy.
I'm Nick Murphy.
We're the Brothers Murph. Let's just walk away without even saying anything. Let's walk away without even saying anything. Not this way.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.